Bruh, what do you mean? Guys, I'm trying to record this video. Let's hope this works. This is awkward. Hi, hello, and welcome to my corner of YouTube. This was a long time coming, but I finally made it. For those who don't know me, my name is Kesha. I am an artist, a storyteller, a content creator, a silly human being, a very unserious human being that just likes to share a lot of unfiltered stories online, along with my sketchbook doodles. I started doing all of this content related stuff really about 4 or 5 months ago because I was terrified of going back to corporate, and my fear of corporate was bigger than my fear of social media, which says a lot because I wasn't very comfortable with social media. But through exposure therapy and through doing this many times over and over again, building consistency, I have kind of built my chops, understood how things work in the online space. And I love to share the knowledge because sharing is caring. When I put my foot down and decided that I want to do art for a living and I do not want to be a starving artist, I knew that I had to get comfortable with being on camera and talking to camera and telling my stories because from experience of many hours of scrolling, people connect with you much faster on a deeper level and they're more invested in you and what you do if you tell them about yourself. So right away, I started doing reels with kind of voiceovers components.
Social media is scary and posting content feels cringe.
I was very shy. I was at my parents' place and I would literally sit at the bathroom floor recording into the phone like this, whispering. God forbid my dad hears me. So yes, I wasn't very comfortable. And I didn't do any scripting neither. And this type of approach did work, but not quite because I was constantly rushed. I didn't know what I wanted to say. There was no such notion as hook or just, a very coherent line of thought. After some time and after talking to other creators and other people who do this type of thing online, I realized that scripting is a thing. Crazy thought. And so I started doing that. Now I have a more fleshed out routine, step-by-step framework that not only makes this entire job easier, but it also allows me to reach the right type of people. I'm very lucky because my audience, my community online is very caring. They engage with my content very well, which is, first of all, just very sweet. I love all of you guys, each one of you, and I appreciate you so much. Secondly, that's also something that brands like. If you do want to do collaborations, they care about your engagement rate because you could have thousands of followers, but if they are very passive, they will not be purchasing, they will not be looking into things that you're advertising, yada yada yada. This is also the reason why I think I was able to get the brand deal with Gelato when I had only 4,000 followers. That was crazy to me. So my framework, think about it as grilled cheese. And who doesn't like grilled cheese? We have the main component, the cheese. We have heating up the pan, browning the butter, crisping up the bread, and making the cheese melt, and lastly, serving it out nicely. So we'll talk about the framework in such way so that maybe it's easier to understand. When it comes to scripting, it's the content, it's the main part, it's the cheese, it's the sauce, it's the thing that attracts people. When you script, every second matters. Every second is a very precious real estate because we have attention span of a toothpick. Unfortunately, it's just our generation is like that. You have to open with a very punchy sentence, aka the hook. What has worked for me in the past is either opening up with a very controversial statement, for example, I got my visa rejected, or something very oddly specific and very honest, like I have been without an income since 2024. And the structure that I currently not use per se, but rely on or have at the back of my head when I am writing is the one I'm pretty sure I stole from one of the trending reels, But it basically goes like you start with an outcome or a problem, aka your hook, aka your juicy statement. For example, I like dating artsy girls because they're a little psycho. Then you kind of explain why this matters, why it's important, why the viewers should care. And I think I mentioned that my ex did agree that I am too much, but is it fair? Then I think the structure suggested that I use a rehook, which I don't think I've used, but I've seen other creators imply something similar. You could also do a rehook through change of a cut, change of an angle. So it doesn't always have to be via text. And then you present the solution at the end. I had, you're not crazy. You're not psycho if you're artsy. Yay. And then you can put a CTA at the very end. Again, I don't always do that, but I see people do that. So go figure. Experiment. Part 2, recording. Browning the butter, heating up the pan. The script that I have written, I record in my voice memos app on laptop about 3 times. I try not to do more than that to avoid going through the endless loop of recording and recording and recording. And I just pick from either one of these 3 tracks or pick and choose where I like the sentences better. And then I compile it into the final version. I use a DJI mic mini to record, but then again, you absolutely don't have to. Like I said, I started with just recording the audio on my iPhone. I see people also use wired Apple earphones or just any other honestly affordable mic. You don't have to be fancy, just start. That's the point. Pro tip, when you're recording, make sure to drink a lot of water and stay hydrated to avoid the click-clacking ASMR sounds from your mouth. And on this note, watermelon juice. Part 3, editing the visuals, crisping up the bread, putting it all together, melting the cheese. You got it. I use CapCut Premium. I pop the audio that I just recorded into CapCut, and this is where you edit out every single pause and aside. You have to make it snappy because attention span, remember? I also go the extra length and I adjust how words appear on the screen. Sometimes they appear in a sentence form. Sometimes it's just one word. I play with the scale of the words, the positioning, the fonts, the colors to really emphasize attention on things that I like to be noticed. Basically, my motto is to do everything, but do it as creatively as possible because that's the kind of last piece of magic, the oomph, the sauce that puts it all together, and it matters so much. So yes, I highly recommend just playing around, experimenting with animation, with like whatever. Last but not least is plating it all together on a beautiful little plate. Genius. After I'm done with editing audio, I pop in all the video cuts inside of CapCut as well. And then I try to match every visual to the sentences. For example, in the video where I talk, I like dating artsy girls because they are psycho. For that one particular sentence, I have one clip of video. For the sentence that is following that one, I have another clip of video. It makes the cuts more snappy. It also acts as a rehook to keep people watching, to keep the attention span. And having different angles definitely helps because, again, visual variety. I'm not always doing that because sometimes I'm just too lazy to film everything from different angles. But you get the gist. Sorry, I lied. Last chapter. Experiment. Play. See what works. See what flops. Watch other creators' video intentionally. See why you continue watching their videos. Adapt things from them. Keep on experimenting. It's like developing a new recipe. We're working with grilled cheese, but maybe you're going to invent the next Michelin grilled cheese. And all of that is possible only through, well, one, consistency, keep showing up, keep doing it. Two, playing, having fun. Take that pressure off of yourself that, whoa, this is a final product and it needs to get viral, it needs to perform. Because odds are, I don't mean to discourage trust, but odds are it won't, because the ratio of videos that shoot up versus the ones that flop is just, it's very different. I think it's 1 in 10 or 1 in 15 of my videos that actually perform very well. So take that pressure off of yourself. Treat it as a fun little project. And this way you will avoid burnout. This way you will actually enjoy the process at the end, and have a more fun time with all of this. If you're still here after all this yapping, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if I missed anything or if there is anything else you would like to know. Sharing is caring. I'd love to share whatever I know just so that you guys don't have to jump through the same hoops I jumped through, because it is stressful. Let me know if you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, ideas, requests, and I will do my best to fulfill them. And I'll see you in the next one. Ciao! Bye!